So today we're going to jump into market dynamics. Oh, how market dynamics play into value in terms of waiting for a while just to let the dust settle so that you can get the best value by looking objectively at the market dynamics, and then therefore the value and the price tries to settle out to give you the best ideation and understanding of what is valuable. Yeah, stay to the end to find out how. We bring it home. Welcome to the news. So in essence, we are just starting to try to talk about a little bit how market dynamics have to do with standing the test of time, and good products stand the test of time in terms of people, in terms of understanding, in terms of how market settles out value. Market is settling out value because you've got different things overlapping on a consistent basis, and people always want you to buy now. There's always an urgency. Typically, there's always an urgency. The way that the world works is that there is typically at the top of every single day, everybody's mind, at the top of everyone's mind on a consistent basis, on a day-to-day basis, on conversations. People want now. People are always about now. People are talking about now. People say the word now consistently because every day, that day is the end of that day, almost the end of that day. And people need to make their returns. They need to make their turnaround. They need to develop possible potential results within that day, conceptually, within that conversation, within that time, because time is money. And nobody has time to be able to think about what's going on beyond the present moment, which is not necessarily true, but nonetheless, for the most part, that's how the dynamic of the nature of interaction of value and market dynamics occur in terms of sales, in terms of upfront sales, in terms of people trying to, at the top level and top layer in society, make sales consistently on a short-term basis, so that things have not the ability to settle out in terms of market dynamics to find out where the value lies. To find out where the value lies, especially in terms of people, but also in terms of market dynamics and companies that are standing the test of time and standing against market dynamics to be able to develop the truth through their actions and through their score, in essence, through reflecting in the market, so that there's things that are trying to be proving as valuable in terms of market dynamics and the placement of a value connection between buying and selling, in terms of finding a good price on an asset that corresponds to something that is valuable in society. Has to do with waiting. It has to do with being a part of the waiting game, so that in essence the market dynamics are very subtle in terms of how it reflects in the price that you're getting, because you are in effect following something that's valuable, so that you are able to cash in on the long term in terms of just understanding that it's valuable fundamentally, as opposed to just thinking that it's something that's a top headline, that it's a good headline. It has to be a valuable product. It has to cause value. It has to be long-term valuable and stand the test of time. And that in of itself makes it so that in the integral related process corresponding to this podcast interest is to develop long-term processes. Develop fundamentally, starting today on whatever it is that you've got aligned, long-term processes, because things shake out in the test of time, whether they are valuable more or less, just to see, like, if you are aiming for a target, if that target is reached. And if that target is reached, then it sort of proves itself as valuable. And that's the bottom line, because people are always trying to judge based on today necessarily. So it's relevant to be able to continue to have a 7-month minimum process, a 7-month minimum window, a 7-month conceptual ability to align with price, and let price and value, and let the market shake out the value. Let the market shake out the value and have a 7-month minimum decision-making window on everything, so that the value has the ability to travel 7 months down the line from where you're at today. And that is a minimum decision-making process, fundamental value orchestrating conceptual strategy for today's podcast, so that everything has the ability to shake out what's not valuable. Shake out what's not valuable. That's the nature of the hope, of the potential to try to fulfill that hope and interest in today's podcast. That's all for now. Thanks again. Diggy Tag, Change for Game Studios. Bye, peace, bye. Yeah. And let's also remember to clear the animal shelters. Let's clear the animal shelters. Clear the animal shelters by fostering all the shelter animals in the world, and also hiring the shelter animals as healers. Hire the shelter animals as healers, so that we can best develop the global good deeds economy, best develop the global philanthropy energy grid. Yeah. Let's hire all the animals in the world as healers to make ourselves better and optimized as humanity among our communities, throughout our communities, for our best optimized, optimal community outreach, outlook, outcome. Yeah, that's all for now. Thanks again, Diggy Tech Change for Game Studios. Bye, peace, bye. Yeah.